Tennis legend Serena Williams' tough love sparks turning point for Alex Eala. It began as many great stories do not under the bright lights of Grand Slam, but in the quiet corners of practice court, the kind of place where greatness is forged through sweat, silence, and the sound of one more forehand echoing in determination. That's where Alex Eala, the young Filipina star who had already captured Asia's imagination, found her self-faced TOF face with Serena Williams, the woman who defined power, presence, and perseverance for an entire generation. Their meeting wasn't planned for headlines. It was supposed to be a brief interaction during a training block in Florida, a simple introduction between a legend and a rising prodigy. But what Serena told Alex that day would become the spark that changed her mindset and possibly her destiny. The meeting that wasn't meant to impress. Alex had always been known for her discipline. At just 19, she had the composure of a seasoned player and the humility of someone who still felt she was just beginning. But in the eyes of Serena Williams, discipline was only one part of the formula. When Ella was invited to a private training session at the IMG Academy, Serena's occasional off-season base, she expected a warm greeting, maybe a few tips, perhaps even a photo to frame back home. What she got instead was a challenge. "You've got game," Serena said after watching Ella hit for 15 minutes. "But you don't believe it." Yet, the words cut through the air like a serve at 125 miles per hour. Alex froze. "What do you mean?" Serena smiled, not unkindly. "You move like you're waiting for permission to win. Champions don't ask for permission, they take it." That was the first moment of tough love. Raw, unapologetic, and unforgettable. Lesson from a queen. For the next hour, Serena didn't just observe, she commanded. Every rally was a test. Every missed ball, a lesson. She wasn't there to praise. She was there to awaken. "You hit two. Safe." Serena barked after a cautious cross-court return. "You think your opponent will miss, but she won't. You've got to make her miss." Alex nodded, breathless, drenched, and humbled. "You're too nice." Serena added between rallies. "There's no space for nice on the court. Be kind off it, but on court be the storm." Those words struck deep. Alex had always played with elegance and balance. She admired players like Rafael Nadal and Simona Hall, whose quiet intensity carried them through chaos. But Serena was showing her another side of greatness, the ruthless belief that you belong here. It wasn't arrogance. It was identity. Flashbacks and fire. That night, Alex couldn't sleep. Her mind replayed Serena's voice like an anthem. She remembered her early days in Manila, training under the scorching sun. Her parents watching proudly as she chased her first dream of turning pro. She remembered being underestimated, the Filipina underdog who dared to enter global tournaments where few from her country had tread. She remembered losing badly in junior matches against players from countries with bigger tennis infrastructures, better funding, more resources. But now she realized something Serena had been trying to tell her. Belief is the one currency that costs nothing yet buys everything. You don't need a bigger budget. Serena had said, you need a bigger heart. That line became a mantra, the turning point. Weeks later, Ella was back on tour. This time at the Guangzhou Open, a tournament she had entered quietly, far from the grand stages of Paris or New York. But something in her head shifted when she walked on court. She didn't smile nervously as she once did. Her eyes had that unmistakable glint, the kind that Serena's used to have before a final in her second round match. Down 2-5 in the final set, the commentators were already writing her off. The old Alex might have faltered there, might have accepted defeat with grace and a polite smile, but the new Alex, the one who had absorbed Serena's tough love, roared back. She broke serve, then held, then broke again. With each forehand, she was no longer playing for approval. She was taking what she had earned. When she finally sealed the match with an ace, her scream was primal, her fist pumped skyward. Her parents in the stands were in tears. She had learned how to command the moment. Serena's words echo on. After that match, Eala sent Serena a message. I did what you said. I stopped asking for permission. Serena replied, within minutes. Good. Now go make them. Remember your name. That single exchange became a piece of tennis folklore, whispered among young players who trained, were repeated by fans who saw her transformation. Her results soon followed: a semi-final in Tokyo, a quarterfinal in Seoul. Her ranking began to climb again after months of plateau. But more importantly, she had found something intangible, that inner steel Serena had seen all along. A conversation on fear. Months later, when Eala and Serena reunited at a charity exhibition in Miami, Alex finally had the courage to ask what she'd always wondered. Why were you so tough on me? Serena's laugh was deep, knowing, because I saw myself in you. People used to tell me I didn't belong, that I wasn't polished or elegant or good enough. I learned that being underestimated is the greatest gift. It forces you to define yourself. Then she leaned closer, her tone softer. But I had to toughen you up, because this world won't. They'll love your story until you start winning too much. Then they'll look for cracks. You got to be ready for that. Alex nodded, eyes glistening. She understood now. Serena's tough love wasn't critique. It was a gift of armor, the rise of a warrior. By the time 2026 rolled in, Alexa was no longer the underdog. She was a threat. Her name appeared beside Coco Gauff's, Emma Ducanu, and Layla Fernandez's in the new generation of women shaping the sport. Eala won her first WTA title. As she lifted the trophy, the camera zoomed in, and there, etched on her wristband with the initials SW. Later, she explained, it's not for superstition. It's a reminder of the woman who taught me that belief is the real muscle in tennis. Serena, now retired, but still deeply involved in mentoring young athletes, watched proudly from stands. When the match ended, she didn't rush to court. She stood, clapped slowly, and mouthed, now, you get it. For Alex, that moment was worth more than the title itself, because a journey wasn't about surpassing Serena. It was about embodying the strength Serena had instilled in her. Epilogue: the tough love that built a champion. Looking back, Alex often says the greatest gift she ever received wasn't a trophy, a sponsorship, or a ranking point. It was a truth spoken at the right time by the right person. Serena didn't teach me how to hit harder, she once told a Filipino journalist. She taught me how to think louder, and that's what makes great mentorship timeless. It's not about technique, it's about transformation. Serena Williams, through her own stormy brilliance, gave Alexa something that can't be taught in any academy: the permission to believe that she belonged among legends. That belief carried Alex from Manila's dusty courts to the world's brightest arenas, and will continue to carry her as she writes her own legend, because in the end, tough love is just another name for faith in disguise. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share.